Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about my March budget as well as a few money updates. So normally I do a review of what I spent in the last month, so it would be what I spent in February. However, we still have about a week and a half left in February, so because I'm filming this early, I will do what I spent in February in my March reset video and you can see it then. So March has a few things going on. One, I'm going to be filing my tax return hopefully before February ends, so I should be getting a tax refund. So far it looks like I'm gonna get around $4,000, so that's gonna be nice. That $4,000 however is not going to be factored into the budget because all of that money is going to be going into my spending account or spending savings account, because since I'm actually going to be going part-time in March, I have decided to, or I've decided this a while ago, but I decided to create a spending fund. So anytime I have extra money, I put it in that fund, and then if throughout the months, if I need money that my paycheck does not cover, then I pull money from that account to pay for things. So that's the plan there. Other things that are going on is the fact that I booked a trip that I'm going to be taking in March. So this was kind of a last minute thing. Like I had a week off in March and I was, as usual, deciding whether I was going to go somewhere or just hang out at home, and I managed to find a cheap ticket. That's like my trigger essentially for like going on vacation, is whether I can find a cheap ticket. So I found a cheap ticket to Austria, so I'll be heading to Austria, which is going to be lovely. I have been to Austria, but I am going to Salzburg actually, which I've never been to, so I'm excited for that. And then I think I'm going to go to Italy as well because I love Italy. At any chance I can get to be there, like I'm there. So that is the plan so far. That's going to be happening at the end of March. But let's get into the budget. Okay, so as always, I have my two checking accounts set up here. On the variable checking side, my balance as of today, which is not the end of the month, but that's what we're going to go on, is $950. Income is going to be $1,380, and I'm not anticipating any extra income, so the available balance in that account is going to be $2,330. Next up, my cell phone is $70 as always. Electricity, I do not have the bill yet, but it averages around $65. Internet is $54. Groceries is going to be $300, and then gas, I'm bringing it down. I normally budget $150, but since I'm working less, then I shouldn't be driving as much, but I might still end up driving other places, but we'll just do $100 for now. Home, I like to buy flowers for my home. That costs about $15. And then moving on to extra, work expenses are coming in a little bit higher. I have a few things I need to purchase, part of which gets reimbursed. So at the top, you can see here, my salary is $1,380, as I said before. $1,000 of it is money that I would normally put in this account, and then $380 is what I plan to get reimbursed from my employer. The other amount of these work expenses are not reimbursable, unfortunately, but it's okay. It's just part of like having a career. And next up is makeup. I have budgeted $5. I'm getting some brow gel. I get that like twice a year. I don't use makeup as much as I used to, so I only need it those few times. And then luggage. Since I am going to Germany, well, I'm not going to, well, I kind of am and kind of not. So my layover is in Germany. So that is where, that's the birthplace of Rimowa. So I'm hoping on my layover I can get my Rimowa suitcase that I've been like talking about for like a minute now. So we'll see. But I'm estimating $650 if I can get it in the duty free. It should be $650 versus like if I buy it here it's like $900, which I'm not trying to spend $900. So that is it for this part of the account, so the variable checking account. So let's just review some things really quickly. Bills work out to be $189. My living expenses $415. Extra spending is $1,195. And the total spending in this account is $1,799 with a remaining balance of $531. The other thing I want to note is that normally I keep a $1,000 buffer in this account, but I have actually changed how I use the account. So Normally, I would pull from this account to pay my credit cards as the month goes on. Like, I would put a purchase on my credit card and pay it off immediately. Now, I've decided to just pay the entire balance of what I spent for the month on the time that is due. So, say for this month, I spent like $2,000. That won't be due until March, and that's when I'm going to pay everything versus like going through and like doing it for every other transaction, because it ends up being too many transactions. And since I've started having to do accounting for the business, aka YouTube, it's like having to go through all those transactions is a pain. So the less transactions, the better. And I like the fact that the money that I would be using to pay my credit card, like I have it sitting there for the month in a high yield savings account. So I'm getting extra money on that income before I pay my credit card. So that is what's new. Next up, on the fixed checking account side, the balance in the account as of now is $1,409, and I pay myself, or I put into this account, $550, and that is the average of these bills here. Another new thing is that my car loan does not come from this account anymore. It comes from a separate checking account at the bank where my loan is. So you will not see it factored into the totals here, and I don't have any of these bills due. So effectively, oh, this isn't adding up. I'm gonna have to fix this. Give me 1 second. No, actually, it does add up. I'm like confusing myself. There is no bills due, so $0, but the available balance, that's what I was trying to say, was $1,959. So the end balance stays the same, $1,959, because nothing is coming out of this account for this month. Now for the breakdown of everything that's happening, as you can see, most of the money that I'm spending this month is going to be in the extra category, so over here, and my bills are coming in lower than they normally would because the car loan is not being factored into this. So it's just these bills over here, and then living comes in second. So 1, 2, 3 in terms of spending for the month of March. Now, total income from both accounts, so the variable and the fixed account, is $1,930. Spending total is $1,799, as we said before, and here is the breakdown as I mentioned. And then the difference between the income and the spending is $131. So guys, that is it for my March budget. Stay tuned for the February recap, and I will see you guys next time.